Guys, what's going on? It's good to see you guys, man. It's good to see you guys, man, at a road trip for work. So, guys, I'm back. Trying to keep this live short because I've been on the road all day. But yeah, Keyshawn, what's up, dude? Yeah, guys, I'm gonna go into the story that I about why this topic has come up. But Laughing Man, what's up, dude? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, guys. I did drop the link in the Discord first for anyone who's coming up, guys. So go in there. Troy Anthony says, "I hope your throat's feeling better." Pause. Rajai, what's up, dude? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. What happened? On. Uh-oh. One second. Where's my... There it is. There's a sound effect. Steve, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. As usual. Good to see you. Right now.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
GTM is here. Jeffrey's here. Matt's here. What's up, man? Good to see you guys. I'm like almost better, man. I'm still a little bit sick, like a little bit. Just kind of a bit left. Guys, make sure you are subbed, man. Guys, we're almost at 28K, man. Almost. We're almost there. So, guys, make sure you are subbed, right? So, guys, you know what? Maybe I'll drop the link early. Because since this live is only going to be like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah, you know what? I'll drop the link early, guys. Let's do this. Let's do that, guys. And so, guys, hold on. I go to TikTok real fast. So, guys, put in the chat right now. Do you think modern women have any ethics or morals at all? Right? I think there was a video with on. Secret, what's up, dude?
What's going on, my brother?
Yeah.
Made it back and didn't get kidnapped.
Nah, I was on a work trip, so it wasn't really a vacation. But as a Better Bachelor had a video, here it is, and it was basically saying how like 30% of college chicks are on OF.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, and those are look. OF Explosive Rocks College campuses. Students ditch traditions for quick cash, right? So, guys, once again, what was it? In 2019, there's only 350,000 creators, quote unquote. Now it's 4.1 million, right? So they're trying to say, I think it's like 1 in 4 college chicks are on OF or some crazy number. Why so many teen girls are planning on becoming OF stars? Teens as young as 12 see OF as an appealing alternative to traditional work. Look at that, guys.
Yeah.
Now, guys, Colin, Seagrip, there's actually something that I was gonna. Seagrip, are you on Discord?
Yes.
Okay. Send me a message on Discord because you see Red Talk Anna's channel, right?
I haven't spent a lot of time on it. I've been spending more time on.
Well, I want to try and have so I haven't reached out to her yet, but I want to have Red Talk Anna on as a guest for a fatigue episode, and I want to have you on there. I want to try and get a hold of Walk, Rajai, and we'll have a panel for fatigue. You know what I'm saying? For a Black Fatigue special. So I'll let you know.
You have my. I think I sent you my.
Yeah.
And everything in the Discord. So you have
perfect. Yeah, and I'll let you know a good amount of time out so that we can plan. But yeah, so Jessica, what's up, dude? Jessica says no from the jump. So yeah, guys. Now there was this story here, and then there was, guys, I reported on this story a long time ago. I hope I can find it again. Hold on. What was her name? Bianca. Hold on. Bianca.
And I'm trying to find this old video.
Here it is. Here it is. You guys remember this? Hold on, really fast. So I covered this.
News now. Life in prison without parole. That is the sentence for Bianca Ellis, the woman who stabbed 3-year-old Julian Wood to death in a grocery store parking lot as his mother pushed him in a shopping cart.
Yes, you guys remember this story? And she was smiling on her mugshot and smiling in the courtroom. Smiling. What a joke. Guys, hold on. Let's this is three guys. So this is this topic that I was kind of mulling around because I had all these like random thoughts and stories. So like just bear with me here, right? But guys, first of all, this chick in the pantsuit is pretty hot. I gotta get that in there. You know what I'm saying? How you doing? You know what I mean?
She's like all these babes. You get their pilot lit, they can start a leaf blower.
All she needs is the cute little glasses. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, let's go.
Our Catherine Ross covered every moment of the trial.
Once again, get Colin, Matt, guys, what do I say about wearing a suit to work?
At least don't get it from off the rack. And if you are going to buy off the rack, get it well tailored.
Thank you. Guys, don't be fat. Please. If you're going to have to wear a suit, guys, don't be fat. It's not hard. You know what I'm saying? Guys, no one's asking you to be friggin' Captain America or friggin', Killmonger. You know what I'm saying? But guys, please exercise. Be at a healthy weight, especially if you're wearing a suit. That doesn't make any sense.
And she was.
Why is this big wearing this suit? It's an ill-fitting suit, and he's large. It doesn't make any sense.
In court today for the sentencing, and Catherine reports the judge delivered a decision that Julian's parents had hoped for.
Court's going to hand down a sentence of life without parole.
Visible gratitude Monday from a family dealt unthinkable heartbreak.
Justice cannot undo tragedy, but it can affirm that what happened was wrong and that your child's life mattered.
Before the sentencing for the woman convicted of his murder, we've
not smiling now, are you?
Heard more about the short life of Julian Wood.
He was just so smart and funny and knew things that most little kids didn't know.
Julian brought laughter, light.
And guys, that B-dub, she's in trouble because female inmates don't like inmates that victimize kids either. Not a lot of people know that, but it's the same in all prisons. If you delete kids, if you abuse kids, you're cooked.
Yeah,
Matt, what
that's prison culture in both sexes.
Yep, facts. Yep. Glitch, what's up, man? Hey, Glitch in the Matrix, dude. Yo, how you been, man? Long time, man. Long time. Good to see you, man. Damon Dennis with a 1999 says, was just why watching Tommy came on over. Dude, I have to give Tommy credit. Guys, he's been at this for like 20 years. Despite the fact that he shoots himself in the foot a lot. Guys, if Tommy could have just like keep his content and stuff, and if he could rein himself in a little bit, he should have like 3, 4, 5 million subscribers. You know what I'm saying? But he always just takes it a little bit too far and he gets got. So, Damon, thanks for the 1999, guys. Are we at 28K yet? Hold on. Let me look. Let me look and see if we're at 28K. Hold on. Teacher tried to traffic student with boyfriend. What is going on, guys? What is going on? Guys, you know what? I'm going to make Thursday's live, another live about these teachers. Because guys, there's been so many crazy stories with these teachers as of late. No, guys, we're almost there. Guys, make sure you are subbed, guys. Appreciate that. Yeah, Damon, thanks for the $19.99, man. I appreciate that, man. Thanks. Because every little bit helps, guys. I appreciate that. Once again, guys, I appreciate all the members, everyone who donates. I appreciate that, guys. All the cash apps. I managed to buy this big new setup that I have here, and that's actually why I can put more content out. It's because my old computer, it took me a long time to edit. So, yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
You are scaring the host.
What's up, dude?
How did this person kill this child? If you can just remind us.
So they were walking to the store, and this dunderhead just walked up with a knife and just cut the kid's neck.
Is she suffering from like a mental health illness, or I mean, that doesn't sound like normal behavior. I mean, I know we're talking about a beat up here, but still, this is like
I'm not sure. I can pull up a little bit more on the story here. But hold on, let's see.
In love in our home with his infectious laugh.
His family says they cling to those memories, but cannot escape the memory of how the 3-year-old died.
That woman murdering my son replays in my head every single day. It is my living nightmare.
Earlier this month, a jury found Bianca Ellis guilty on all charges for the murder of Julian and attempted murder of his mother. During the trial, surveillance video and testimony explained how Ellis stole a pair of knives at a North Olmsted thrift store and used one of the weapons in a random attack outside the nearby Giant Eagle. Julian died in the stabbing.
This crime did not only destroy one young life, it profoundly affected an entire community and the officers sworn to serve it.
Mental health has been a cornerstone of the case. The defense argued Ellis was not guilty by reason of insanity and maintained that view during sentencing.
Jurors should know that hospitalization could last as long as a prison sentence could last.
We have never disputed that Miss Ellis had a mental illness. There was never a dispute to that. The dispute was, did she appreciate the wrongfulness of her actions?
The judge also said the case highlights a gap in mental health services.
No family should have to lose a child.
Hey, Matt, Secret, Colin, whose fault is it that all these crazies are wandering around in the streets and there's no more loony bins?
Reagan?
No. Reagan. You remember the Democrats during Reagan's era? Reagan tried to fight it, but
he ultimately caved in, though.
Yeah.
But I would say that if you wanted to talk unbiasedly, I would say it was the union's fault that many of the mental health institutions got shut down because they weren't doing their jobs, and those places were they were not fit for like human habitation.
That was the story, though. There was one documentary that was done in like 1984 in one place up in like Maine or something, and the story went there was no internet, but it was such a big story. It like took off, and all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, she's horrible. But there was a lot of well-run sanatoriums or whatever that they used to call them. But even if that 1, 2, 3, let's just give 5%, 10% were bad. That doesn't mean you shut them all down. And I'm not saying that you're saying that, because guys, think about how bad our prisons are, right? Think about this. Right. Like if you were to think about how bad a lot of these privately run prisons are with no oversight, I would give a good conservative estimate that 40% of our prisons are like not fit for human living. You know what I'm saying? And they're doing just fine.
I had a conversation with a psychiatrist at the VA who was practicing back then, and his senior, the psychiatrist that sponsored him, that kind of taught him the ropes. And they, his, I guess you would say, a professional guide, right? His mentor worked in these public sanatoriums, a number of them, And he said, and this is really the crux of where my opinion comes from, is listening to what he had to say about this. And he said that the doctors that were in charge of these facilities were trying to do what they needed to do. But over time, the unions fought to like basically relieve the staff of a lot of the like essential caregiving tasks that needed to get done. Like really when it came to like cleaning things up. And they fought tooth and nail against like, just doing the day-to-day tasks that needed to be done. And that's why he said in his estimation, it was more than half of those places had declined in human habitation rates that were just disgusting. It was like you wouldn't let animals in them.
Well, I can tell you though, guys, you are better off getting life in prison than being found guilty by reason of insanity.
Yeah. As a prisoner, you at least have rights.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, guys, you can't get out of there until the doctor says you can.
Right.
So you're being held indefinitely. They can force feed you. They can force you to take medicine. It's crazy, guys. Cooked.
Right, and then the way it's supposed to work, if you are quote unquote cured, you actually then have to go serve your sentence.
Yeah.
So you're never actually free.
Yep, that's true.
Well, what I would just like to say, like I don't care, loony bin or prison, either way. I think that if you intentionally or unintentionally end somebody's life, the consequences for you should be permanent. If you're responsible for killing a child, I don't think that you should ever get out of prison. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Guys, once again, I don't, like I said, I think taking a life is wrong no matter what. Now, there are times where it's necessary, like, self-defense, obviously, in war, right? It's still wrong, but necessary and moral, two different things, right? That's why even in our laws, taking someone's life can be legal. You know what I'm saying? Is it self-defense? It's all about intent, right? But I still think it's wrong. But if you do knowingly take a life, I really, really think that you should never see the outside of a jail cell again. And if it's a child's life, well, they should just take you out. I mean, they shouldn't even waste taxpayers' dollars. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? If you victimize kids in any way, and they can prove it without a shadow of a doubt, why even waste the taxpayers' money?
I'm 100% in agreement with you on that. Child predators, we should hang them on the courthouse steps. I'm sorry, that's just my position on it.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see.
Families should have to watch their loved ones deteriorate because meaningful and effective mental health services were unavailable.
Ellis herself spoke for the first time since the trial began.
I just want to say I apologize.
Please.
The Woods called her actions unforgivable.
You deserve to go to jail for the rest of your life, so you can't hurt anyone else. You don't deserve a second chance. You don't deserve mercy. You didn't give my son any. I hate you with every fiber of my being.
I don't blame her.
Because of you, I live in constant fear. For months, I couldn't leave my home. If I did leave my home, I needed someone by my side. And even then, I was stricken with fear.
Remember, she got stabbed too, so she was injured too. So, guys, while I pull this, we'll go Secret, Colin, and Matthew. Do these modern women even have any ethics or morals?
I'm gonna stand by my original, my original premise that we have devolved to where this generation and the previous generation have just lost their humanity.
Yeah,
I think Gen X which is my generation. I think we were the last generation that truly valued, at least had at least some morals. We weren't corrupted by this social media and desensitized against just everything. So yeah, we don't value life anymore.
Yeah. Colin, what do you think, buddy?
No, absolutely not. In fact, I'll take it a step further. I think a very large percentage of the female creatures are just downright evil.
Yeah. Matt, what do you think?
I tend to see women more and more as operating just in line of what can they get from other people. And like that's really all that motivates them. I tend to see them in an opposite way from how I've seen men act, where men can be selfless and think about others before themselves. I almost think that women are like completely incapable of thinking about anybody else other than themselves.
Yes.
Like, and I see the product of that thinking over and over and over again. And I can't stop. It's something that I just notice more and more.
Well, guys, by modern women, I mean the modern, regular, smegular, liberal Western woman, right, guys? There's still some good chicks who might be, children of immigrants, like a lot of Asian immigrant first generation Asians, or even second generation Asians, immigrant women, or even a lot of women who come from more like rural communities, right? Like, they didn't go to college. That's college is a big thing, right? Because Josh says females have morals when they grow up with fathers in the home. That's true until they go to college. Guys, I need you to put a 1 right now if you have seen in your life, like your little sister or your little female cousin or one of your friends' sisters, whatever, you saw her growing up and she was cool. Then she went off to college and came back some blue-haired, bull nose pierced up, communist feminist, right?
I am woman.
Absolutely.
Numbers too big to ignore.
Clown world. Guys, the craziest part is I have a friend of mine, his little sister's Catholic. She's like 26, 27. But she's pretty cool. But even she still has that feminist type of because feminism's so, guys, can we agree? Feminism, it just completely just annihilates a woman's morals.
Yeah.
Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
I think that that the way that it accomplishes that is that instead of a woman understanding and working cooperatively with men, it pits women against men.
Yeah,
and I think that's how that happens.
Win. Exactly.
In a fight that they here, hold on. Whiteout has a good question, guys. The chat's cooking tonight, guys. Thanks, guys. Hit the like button on the way in, guys. I appreciate that. Said, did college make them that way, or was it in them to begin with? I believe that it was in them to begin with, because once again, guys, I always say this: men, and put a 1. If you agree, our nature is selfless. We are inherently selfless. We're ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, the males, we are expendable because we are supposed to give our lives to protect our women and children so that we can keep humanity going. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're supposed to do. It is what it is. A man's supposed to sacrifice himself for his family, his friends, his community, his country. Men went into World War I, World War II, as knowing that they're not coming back.
Yeah,
that's what we're built for. Women are inherently selfish because they have to worry about being safe during their pregnancy, protecting their children, and being able to somehow, by hook or by crook, get the best life for their children. But the only thing that was keep making women act selfless was religion.
Yep.
Social and gender norms and shame.
Yep.
But now those 3 things are gone, and now their true nature is coming out en masse. Secret.
Yeah, we literally lost the guardrails that kept. So at the end of the day, men and women, there are positive and negative aspects to our personalities.
Yes.
And so what used to keep the worst aspects of our personality in check, or our nature in check, was your family, your community, your society, and like you said, shame. Back to what you were saying about women, I always say there's only 3 things women love unconditionally: themselves, their children, and their pets. Their love for a man will always be conditional on him being. There's going to be a burden of performance for a man, and that's going to be the condition a woman will be, committed to us.
Well, no. Nowadays, you can say that they don't even really love their children.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Or else they give them fathers, right? An active father in the household.
They love their children selfishly, not selflessly. So, like we were talking about in the last panel, they're more like accessories.
Matt.
Yes, sir.
What you said?
Well, all right, like everybody, most of the Seagrip, this is my first time, I think, being on panel with you and you too, Colin, but I've spoken with AJ about this before. So like I'm involved with the AA program. I've been sober for like 4 years.
Congratulations,
I do counseling with other combat veterans who also have substance abuse problems, and that's a very common thing. The thing that I've seen in Seagrip, this is what I wanted to bring up with you about women and their children. I'm seeing this over and over and over again within the substance abuse community. Men oftentimes will, even with an active substance abuse issue, they will still put the welfare of their children before their habit. I am seeing in the newer generations of women where you're seeing a behavior of them even choosing their habits over their children.
Oh, that's been going on since what? Since the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We started seeing the white people doing coke in the boardroom, and then the crack in black neighborhoods. I think the 80s is when you really started seeing women choosing drugs over their children. And I think what a big thing that we don't talk about, because we talk about crack in the black community. Colin, my friend, if you could chime in, please. Do you remember in the late 90s and the 2000s when meth exploded?
Yes.
In Washington State? It
Oh,
was
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Was that the meth labs blowing up? Because my ex-girlfriend from college, her dad was a local police chief, and they would send these firefighters in their regular gear into these houses that had meth labs. Now, guys, if you see them tearing down a meth lab now, guys, what do you see these guys wearing?
Hazmat
Respirators.
suits.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Now there's all these guys that are retiring, and they're having all these problems, and the state doesn't want to pay their medical. It's like you sent these guys in there knowing what was going on, but that's when you started seeing these women en masse was meth and opioids. How many times have you heard of these moms? The baby gets a hold of fentanyl. The baby gets a hold of meth. Because how many 50304s have we seen where these chicks are sitting there high and mommy won't wake up because they're a junkie.
And it's not just the negligent behavior. Like I'm talking about choices that they make to deliberately put their children in harm's way in order to keep their habit going.
Yeah.
And what I was talking about was that I don't see the same behavior when it comes to men, but I do see it with women, and maybe that's because women end up with kids more often. But I've seen even parents who are alcoholics and drug addicts, where the fathers don't subject their children to risks, don't sell children out to predators and things like this. But you do see that with women.
Here you go.
We begin tonight with the latest in the case of a Corpus Christi woman accused of selling her 7-year-old son. Today, police released an arrest report that says 29-year-old Esmeralda Garza sold her young son to pay off a drug debt.
Look at that, guys.
And what
Look
that
at
really
that.
goes to show you is that for that person, there was nothing, literally nothing more important to her than supporting her habit. Not even her children broke through that barrier. I just don't see that very often with men. I'm sorry. I was just trying to support the point that you were making about how these women, they don't seem to have any morals anymore. I'm seeing that. Do you know what I'm
Look at
saying?
this. Yeah, look at this.
51 years to life in prison. That was the sentence handed down to a mother who admitted to trading her 11-year-old daughter for heroin. The judge in the case had some choice words for her.
Demons.
On your sides, TJ Parker is live for us downtown with what she
Hey guys,
has
here's the
to
thing.
say.
You don't really, yes, there are some evil women in the East, but guys, it's not as widespread. You know, you go to women from like Southeast Asia, you know, the Middle East, parts of Africa, you know what I mean? Like they don't, you know, Korea, Japan, you know, they're not demons like a lot of these chicks in the West are. You know what I'm saying?
I would
Like
agree.
if you look at these street interviews of these Japanese chicks or these Korean chicks, just look at how like they're kind of like these, like a Susie Q country bumpkin. Like, what? Like I've seen them tell these, like show these Japanese girls like B-dubs twerking on the top of a car in the middle of traffic, or they're like, oh my god, what are these chicks doing? You know what I mean? Like the idea, like the shame that it would bring on their on themselves and their families is so insane. The idea of disrupting the public harmony by dressing crazy, or like, do you guys see the girl who was in Japan? White girl, and she showed up to the gym wearing the booty shorts and the sports bra. And like in Japan, you everyone just kind of wears sweats or whatever. No one wants to be disruptive. Everyone wants to be, it's harmony. So everyone's staring at her funny, and she's like, "What?" And then she was in the locker room, and this one girl's like, "Yo, don't wear that. Like, you're being disruptive, and it's very disrespectful."
Right.
She's like, oh no. So she went and bought some sweats, you know, and the next day she's working out and everything is fine. But they don't like the disruption of the communal harmony. You know what I'm saying? And women live in that chaos. They don't like chaos, they like order. And now these Western women, these modern women, they are nothing but agents of chaos. They revel in the chaos. And the only thing that they want to do more than live in it is drag you down into it too, guys. Insane.
Okay.
She sure did, Carol. Judge Leslie Giz says she sees the effects heroin has on people daily, but she's never seen anything like this. So she shared her thoughts with April Corcoran before she handed down her sentence this morning.
I'm going to have this court will have the kind of mercy on you that you had on your daughter, which is none.
Judge Leslie Giz has no sympathy for 30-year-old mother April Corcoran. She made it clear what Corcoran did is disturbing.
All I can do is weep for her that the one person in the world, her mother, threw her under a bus because you wanted to get high. It is just awe-inspiring that you can stand here and in all of this, the one thing I haven't heard is asking for her forgiveness.
Corcoran pleaded guilty in June
care.
after she was indicted on charges relating to trading her daughter to her accused heroin dealer, Shandell Willingham, in exchange for drugs. She's also accused of giving her daughter heroin.
I don't think you recognize the damage that has been done to this poor child.
She deserves to die in prison.
The prosecutor in the case, Katie Pridemore, believes Corcoran's daughter, who is now living with her father and stepmother, will deal with this for the rest of her life.
I don't think she will ever be able to forget this,
Look at
but
that,
I
guys.
think with the love in her family, she will be able to get through it.
Not on Your Side talked with Corcoran's attorney about her sentence.
It's
not surprising given the horrific nature of this case.
I failed my daughter in one of the worst ways possible.
Corcoran also spoke in court saying she's had time to reflect on what she did, saying she is consumed by guilt every day.
Yeah, right.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Now, guys, another thing that shows that women have no morals is how flippantly they talk about baby deletion, right? Have you guys seen the thing where they're like yeetus the fetus? Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Look at this idiot, guys.
Hiya. So, I have a little bit of a silly question.
So, like, even though any discussion about this should be serious, right? Because they're like, I'm gonna get pregnant just to delete it. Ha 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 ha. Guys, the dehumanizing language that pro-choice women use is absolutely absurd. The very idea that it's not a human being, right? Because guys, here's the thing: you can make the whole, like, if you are pro baby deletion, you can say, look, you know, I would prefer someone not be able to use my kidney, right? So therefore, I shouldn't be forced to have to use my body for someone else. I'm just saying that you could argue this, right? But these women don't even do that. They just say, well, no, I should be able to get pregnant 18 times and flush it down the toilet and say it's not a human being. Yet this could blow up in their face, like in California, where women will actually get in a car accident and they'll lose the baby, and they can't charge the guy with deletion, with any type of murder or anything, because California law doesn't consider the unborn a person.
Right.
Oops.
Right, because the pro-choice groups have eliminated that legislation ahead of time. Yes.
It doesn't make any sense, guys. Once life begins at conception, biologists say this. Everyone says this. That's how it works. So, guys, once again, the fact that women and a lot of beta males too just flippantly talk about just annihilating human beings is absolutely absurd.
Well, it's because when you look at the progressive line, all of their values revolve around removing accountability.
Yes.
And for women, that predominantly is about abortion and removing their accountability for their own behavior.
Yep.
Because them getting pregnant is, they look at that as somebody holding them accountable for their behavior. So they're all about removing that. That's what they refer to as freedom.
Yeah.
AJ.
Freedom from responsibility.
Yep.
I once got into a debate with someone, and we were discussing the difference between, so if you are in a car and you happen to delete someone who is pregnant, you're charged with 2 deletions.
Yeah. Yep.
And so
in normal states, yes.
And we got into a debate, and but you can, delete as many babies you want, and what the thing I posed is, but the difference is one child was wanted and the other wasn't.
That's true. Yeah.
Another sick, twisted irony to all these. I guarantee you, just about every single one of these females, they will acknowledge the fact that a microbial life form, such as bacteria, is in fact a life form.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. You guys.
Now, one question I wish people would ask a lot of these pro-lifers, that these women that do the mental gymnastics on how while the baby's in there, it's not like. And one question that I wish someone would ask some of these people is, if a person deletes someone who's pregnant, should they be charged with 1 deletion or 2 deletion? I would love to see them dance around that, but I've never seen a debate. And I've tried to find, like Charlie Kirkwood, I tried to find debates where they pose that question, and I haven't found one yet. So in chat, if you come across something like that, please put it out there so I can check it out.
Yeah, and once again, in states like California, like it just doesn't make any sense. So if the mom wants to have the baby, well, this is the same as like the whole no fault divorce. If she just doesn't want to be married, she should just be able to just walk out and destroy the whole marriage, right? It's the same thing. Baby deletion now is treated just like no fault divorce. Like these women don't feel ethically or morally bound, to anything at all. It's absolutely insane. But look at how this idiot here.
But have y'all ever played the hit game Among Us? But
Do you know what that is? Yes, I know what
okay,
it is. I have
I just double checking. I highly recommend.
That was the
this.
Gen Z asking the old Xennial whether she knew what things were.
I think it's a very worthwhile game
It's a great
for
game,
everyone to play, especially at a party. Very fun. And then, oh my gosh.
What does your sign say? I'm trying to start.
Oh my gosh. I made it this morning. Oh my gosh, I love your Among Us phone case. It's very, very good. I have
the fetus. What?
To uterus the fetus or not to uterus is not the question the government should dictate, but the individual's choice.
Could you define uterus the fetus for us?
Now, guys, once again, isn't it funny how these chicks are all, I want to yeetus the fetus and flush it. It's not a person, but then you see them, my IVF journey, my struggle to have children and get pregnant. I'll never get pregnant. Isn't it funny how they can talk out of both sides of their neck, guys?
Well, what I can't take them seriously because the same people that will jokingly refer to abortion and in a
Baby
playful
deletion,
manner,
please.
baby deletion. Sorry.
Yep, thank you.
They're the same ones who will go out and march for free Palestine after
Exactly.
like the things that Hamas did to women and children in Israel, and
Yep.
it's like and it's like that won't matter at all. There's like no consistency in these people's perspective. They're all issue to issue, and there's nothing about like an ideological straight through. Do you know what I'm saying? Like where their issues line up consistently based on where their values are expressed in the same way throughout like maybe all of the subjects that they approach, and you
Yeah.
don't see that. You see zero consistency.
Yep. Sure.
The only consistency that you see is them looking to escape the consequences of their behavior.
Exactly. The only consistency is that they don't want to be held accountable, and they want to always blame everyone else for their problems. And guys, they always make the essay argument, right? When that's like less than 2%. You know what I'm saying? It's just an absolute joke. And guys, I'll break out the race card here, right? Guys, I was telling Seagrip, remember we had said that the black population stayed the same for the last 40 years? We've been 13.55% of the population for the last like almost 40 years because of baby deletion.
Well, and homicide.
Yes, but that's still not as much of an impact as baby deletion.
No, and I
Baby
didn't mean to make
remember,
it seem so, but
yeah, but we have immigrants coming from Africa and the islands, and then with our births, it should stabilize, but it doesn't because babies aren't being born in New York. The most dangerous place in New York State for a black child to be is in the womb. Insane, guys. It's absolutely insane. And I would even argue that the black American population is shrinking because Nigerians, Senegalese, Ethiopians, they're having 3-4 kids. You know what I'm saying? They aren't deleting theirs.
I wish I need to try to find this website again. I fell down a rabbit hole last year when I was, researching the cough and, and people that passed. Well, that same website, I think it was the CDC website, but it also tracked deletions. And I can't remember if it was New York or Michigan, but one of these states, if you looked at around like 2020, 2021, like one of these years, they literally had more deletions than births, or it was like
that's crazy.
Or it was like, yeah. And if I can find this, website, it was just insane because you can put in, I think it's a CDC website, but you can put in like the state, the year, and if I can find it, I'll try to find it. Hopefully this week or next week.
Cool. Here you go.
And at one point, I was not a human. I was a clump of cells.
Every human being has a beginning of their existence, their life. It all begins when they are conceived. They are conceived via sexual reproduction.
At that point.
Yes.
Guys, how can people be so stupid, right? And guys, this Abolitionist Rising, they do this. And you should see some of these dunderheaded chicks that like come up. There's even chicks because his wife, his daughter, and then like women of his church will be out there, and they're like, I can't believe you're a woman. You'd sign off on this, and It's crazy,
They are a human embryo.
The ability to feel things.
No,
they cannot feel things.
I'm a biology teacher.
What? I mean, I have grandparents who are nurses.
God has brought before us a biology teacher. I've been talking to...
He made him a biology teacher.
No, while we were talking and you were denying biology, a biology teacher showed up. So why don't we let the biology soften?
It's called a zygote. It's when the sperm unites with the egg.
It's still not a human.
Forms.
It's a human zygote.
Geneticists can identify that egg as human.
You could put a human zygote.
Look at this. Look at how stupid. All of a sudden, guys, how is this? Oh, hold on, guys, look.
Yeah.
How do we have to have this conversation with these guys? Here's the thing. Okay, I could even be okay with the person who says it is a person, and I'm okay with deleting it. Then they're at least being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can respect that. Look, I don't care. It's in the wrong womb. I don't want it there. I can at least respect that. But to say, like, they're just trying to get rid of the shame or the stigma of it.
Right.
There should be shame and stigma. What? What? It's so funny that they won't say that dogs get pregnant and it's not a dog, right? They won't say dolphins don't get pregnant and have dolphins, but for some reason they'll be, oh, that's not a human. Oh, what would a human woman get pregnant with then? It's so absolutely just dumb. It just drives me up the wall,
I think what you're seeing is the product of that they start out with the conclusion that they want and build backwards to create an argument that justifies that. And you're talking about people that really don't know anything. Like, the fact that this guy is talking about like the embryonic cycle, they don't know the difference between a fetus and a zygote, and they're not really that interested in it. Even though that they claim to belong to the party of science, they're not interested in science. They're interested in 0% of facts. They're only interested
when it comes to then they're really not concerned about science.
No, they're only interested. They're the ultimate cherry pickers. They're only interested in the things that support the conclusion that they've already decided on.
Yes. Yep. It's true. It's true.
That like if you're like the normal way that scientific inquiry is supposed to work is the facts are supposed to land you to a conclusion. They're supposed to lead you to a conclusion. What I'm saying is these people are ideologues because they start out with the conclusion and then only entertain the facts that support their conclusion.
Exactly. And guys, here's the thing. They didn't even argue well because the only pro-choice argument that I could say, well, what's race card? Is once again a woman standing 10 toes down and saying, "Look, it's a person. I don't want it in my body, and I don't care. You can't shame me. It's gonna go." Like, I mean, at least they're being honest and saying, "I don't care. It's my choice. It's over with." I mean, but don't try and do the whole mental gymnastics. It's not a person. It becomes it magically metamorphosizes into a person at 6 weeks or 24 weeks or 29 weeks or whatever. Come on, dude.
it's the same thing as Only Fools.
Yeah.
Where we have normalized we have normalized this clown world to where, you know, there was a time like during the 80s, like you would see these interviews when new women would try to get into the adult industry, and the older women in the industry would warn them that, look, once you do this, you will be labeled like this forever and it will follow you.
Yeah.
And so there was a real stigmatism associated with that. With as much information as a lot of these women put out here in regards to deletions, things along those lines, there was a time where there was it in Japan? They have moral currency or something like that. That literally dropped your moral currency, your social currency. And now we've removed all of that.
Yeah.
Like, the guardrails that used to keep the worst aspects of our personality, our nature, they're gone. And and I don't know when or if they'll ever come back.
Well, it's gonna take some major event, guys. America is the most reactionary country on earth. We are not a proactive culture. We are reactive,
and that's the reason why.
Yeah.
When you look at some of these countries that are quote unquote our enemies or coming after us, so when you look at like China, Russia, things along those lines, they will never do a frontal assault
ever,
because they know that the worst thing you can do is give us a reason to direct our hatred and anger. It's better to divide and conquer and use disinformation and social media and let us, you know, was it a Ouroboros? Let us eat ourselves.
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
hold on, guys, there's a marriage conversation going on in the chat, guys. Once again, marriage is okay. In modernity, remember, it's only like 40% of men have ever reproduced. So, guys, the majority of men in a society being able to reproduce is a new thing. I would say maybe since the Industrial Revolution, like right before, because then that kind of put a stop to a lot of the famines and wars. Even though we had World War I and World War II, but like men could actually survive enough to get married and have kids. In the 1900s was probably maybe was it right around I would say post World War II was the first time that the majority of men, 80-90% of men, were getting married and having kids. That's a relatively new thing. But as marriage has always been a way to keep society going, right? B, help people survive. People married out of necessity. That doesn't matter if it's biblical marriage, if it's Western marriage, or Eastern marriage. There's always some concept of men and women coming together and having children, right? It was also a way for families to come together. That was a big deal. You come all the royalty and the chiefs and all these people, they were coming together in marriage. If there was in a town in England, you'd have like the barrel maker had a daughter who would marry the local blacksmith's son, and then they would intertwine their families, right? So marriage has always been a thing, but here's the thing: both genders realize the utility of marriage. In the 60s and 70s, us men civilized the world to the point to where women just all of a sudden forgot about the practical benefits of coupling, and they walked away from the table. You know what I'm saying? And they have been expecting us men just wait around while they spend their late teens and early 20s getting these stupid degrees in underwater lesbian studies and letting Chad and Tyrone and having bastard kids and running up debt. And then they're like, oh, here, Colin, hey, I'm ready to get married now. Well, Colin then walked away from the table. Colin's going to either be monk mode or he's going to be in the third world finding a chick. You know what I'm saying? But guys, here you go. Cook. I'll be back.
Well, the one thing that I wanted to bring up, Seagrip, do you remember how the Democratic Party, the line that they sold people on when it came to abortion? Do you remember what their motto was in the 1990s? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. So the Democrats, the only way that they could really like advertise or make abortion palatable for the American people was to celebrate it or to sell it as safe, legal, and rare. And you might remember, like, Hillary Clinton giving a number of speeches.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Where she talked about how abortion was wrong, but like a necessary evil. Do you remember?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay, so like now, what to kind of illustrate the point that both AJ and Seagrip were making when it comes to, like, the rails that we've gone off the rails, is now the motto that they're pushing in the Democratic Party and in college campuses is that you should shout your abortion. It's not only that you should be ashamed of it. Now they're telling people to actually take pride in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
so-
remember. I'm sorry,
go
go
ahead.
No, I remember this is kind of where the argument about how, the quote unquote back alley coat hanger deletions were so dangerous and more women were actually, passing away. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So I thought that was worth, like, bringing up because that kind of really shows a change in thinking. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Where, when you're advocating for something that's safe, legal, and rare, that, like, the intention behind that was, like, that in limited circumstances that deletion would be acceptable because you didn't want the product of SA or incest or unwanted pregnancy from a very traumatic relationship or an underage relationship, right? That was to support really, deletion in those circumstances. Now it's just general, shout your deletion, take pride in it because this is you practicing a freedom. And again, when these people, when these leftists and these progressives talk about freedom, they talk about freedom in the frame of freedom from responsibility, freedom from having to take responsibility for one's own actions. And in this case, when it comes to deletion, the responsibility that in a deletion falls on that unborn child.
Yeah. It's also they also call it freedom from oppression of men,
But that's just clever framing. And again, that goes back to what I brought up before when it comes to feminists and how they have really destroyed relationships between men and women. It's because they pit men against women.
Yeah.
They turn what's supposed to be a beneficial cohabitation into this adversarial relationship where it's about winning the argument or being right or making more money or it's about competing, and it's not about complimenting, and it's like there's this shift that happens when people identify themselves as a victim. Then once they think of themselves as being a victim in this and you're as a man in the oppressor class and the oppressor, then anything goes against you. Do you know what I mean? Like anything becomes justifiable because then it's the woman getting back at the man for historical injustices. That's how it plays in their head.
Yeah, but that's the way that they're so easily manipulated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, guys, does anyone know about the hype option on YouTube?
Hype? No.
Yeah,
Sorry.
guys. So there's a thing called hyping, and you can actually, it's a thing to help push the videos. So, guys, if you actually go to one of my videos, let me go to one of my videos. Let me see. I'll have to put out some instructions on a post, but you get like a couple of hypes per week, and basically you can click it and it basically pushes the video out more in the algorithm, right? So you get 3 hypes, you get 3 free hypes per week. And you can go in the comment section, I believe, and you can hype people's videos, guys. You can hype my videos here. Hold on, let's see. I didn't even know about this. So you go in the app, you'll see it on your phone if you pull up YouTube on the app on your phone, and there's a button that says hype, and you guys, you can use that, and it helps push the videos out. So guys, yeah, I mean, make sure to drop a hype on my videos. You know, that'd be cool. Oh, so guys, let's finish this, and then we'll one.
And a pig zygote and a cow zygote, and you can figure out which one was human.
A human zygote versus.
That's the dumbest thing. You can't differentiate human because they look alike. It doesn't. But if you actually analyze the DNA, they're different. You goofed it. Well, they all look the same. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That'd be like saying, there's not even like another example that I can use because it's so stupid. You know what I'm saying? But because if someone holds up a picture and says, "Is this a dolphin or a human zygote?" Like, it doesn't matter. What does the DNA test say? You morons! God, they're so stupid.
Other zygotes as well.
I'll bet you $1 million you can. I bet you he could if you gave him a lab.
No, I mean,
you guys are denying reason, religion, and science full swell because you want to kill children in the womb. You don't think you've suppressed the truth and unrighteousness? We've told you a biological fact to your face, and then a biologist showed up, and it doesn't matter. You will reject.
To me, abortion is not a biblical subject.
No. I'm saying you will reject any truth.
Dumbass. Now, guys, once again, hold on. No, guys, another unmoral thing to do is to not pay your bills. And guys, bankruptcy's on the rise. Car repos are on the rise. Guys, it's absolutely insane. Guys, there's nothing more pathetic than a dunderheaded knucklehead that signs on the dotted line and will not keep their word. Guys, there's nothing more pathetic than you shaking someone's hand and making a deal, signing on the dotted line, and you don't hold up you're into the bargain. It's bad enough that they can't even keep wedding vows. But guys, these women, they're getting foreclosed on. They're filing for bankruptcy. Guys, no morals and no ethics. I would never claim bankruptcy ever, because that would mean that I am a dunderheaded idiot who can't be trusted. Guys, never, ever, ever, ever deal with anyone who's bad with money. Ever. Guys, put a 1 if you agree. Lock your devices are not connected, buddy. But yeah, guys, put a 1 if you agree that giving a person who's bad with money is like giving an alcoholic a drink. It's the same thing. You're just enabling them. It's the same thing. Look at this.
When I was 24 years old, I filed for bankruptcy, and I feel like I'm finally ready to talk about it. I feel like a bit nervous about talking about it because
you should be.
People probably don't see it, but whenever I get like hateful and rude comments, I just delete them. So I feel like this is opening me up to that. And yeah, I'm just a bit nervous about it, but I'm going to share it anyways.
No morals, no ethics, no sense, no nothing. Pathetic.
It's interesting that you see this phenomenon, especially with women, where they delete comments and regard anything negative as hateful. that's not really, when somebody points out something negative, that could be like, that's like the definition of like how a best friend is supposed to act towards another. Right. Like, like holding each other accountable, like, and saying to your buddy, you're like messing up here. Do you know what I mean? Like these women look at like when you're trying to point something out to them as hateful, that's like, that's very indicative of like a mindset where they're just looking to hear the things that they want to.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So people have better understanding of my background, why I am the way that I am about money. So I filed bankruptcy in November of 2018. I think it stays on my record for another 2 years, which is why I'm kind of like, whatever, like I'll just talk about it now because it's gonna pass soon. But yeah, so basically what happened is, I won't get into the whole long story, but I ended up racking up $25,000 worth of like credit card and line of credit debt.
That's it?
Yeah, for 25,000, she
25 grand?
Yeah. Yeah.
She must really be bad with money if she couldn't dig herself out of 25 grand of stupidity.
Well, and ridiculous. I guarantee you that like the 25 grand was spent on things that were like day to day and not things that actually she still has.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean by
guarantee
stupidity when she says line of credit and credit cards, because
like
my ex ran me through that kind of stupid crap. But
I promise you, she was putting like her rent on the credit cards like for like a place that she couldn't afford.
A 2-bedroom place that she was living in by herself.
Right. Nails, hair, like all of this stuff where like at the end of the day, you don't have anything physical that you're taking away from the like the equation. These are all incidental day-to-day things. And these women will spend tons of money on this stuff that you just get nothing for.
Yeah. It's crazy, huh?
I didn't have the proper education on money and on budgeting.
Oh, please.
And when I was able to get a credit card and have
you're not your arms aren't sore from playing the violin, Corey?
That part
Man,
pisses me off when people say, well, I never got taught about money. Okay, genius, you got $100 bill in your hand. You don't go spending $500.
Exactly. Yep.
How hard is that to figure out? Christ, I knew that when I was 8 years old. I got $3, so I know $3 can only go so far.
But a basic game of Monopoly will teach you
exactly
enough about money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but just remember, fellas, all these 304s, nobody ever taught them about money, but nobody ever taught them about cleaning off a popsicle or riding the carousel, but they should have figured that out just fine.
Oh! And somehow they learned that on the job training.
Yes, they did.
credit.
Oh, and I
used
hate
it. The way it worked for me is
What
I
was that,
met with
Corey?
a
I said I hate you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
debt person. I showed them all my debts, basically signed over everything to them, and I ended up paying, I think it depends on your income and depends on your debt. I don't know exactly how it works. I honestly forget. I ended up paying like $180 a month for 9 months, and then my debt was cleared. Didn't include my car because I never missed a car payment, and I didn't include my student loan because it was too new, and if it was like within 5 years, your student loan had to be more than 5 years old, I think. I know that people are probably going to ask about that, like, why didn't I lose my car and want to get rid of it? And it's obviously very hard to get a car and get a new loan with a bankruptcy on your record. So this is why I am so like budget conscious, and I really do try and spend responsibly as best I can, and why I'm kind of like uptight about money and like everything needs to be perfect. Plus the fact that I live by myself and I'm the only person that pays the bills, like it only falls back on me. I don't have anything else to rely on, so that is why I am the way I am about that. And while yes, you can say, why would you listen to my input? Like I'm in debt or I filed bankruptcy, but like that's more reason to listen to me because I've gone through it.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Guys, come on.
So I can tell from the way she's talking, she went through a chapter 13, not a chapter 7. So chapter 13, she had to turn money over to she had to pay a trustee, and it's a reorganization. So some of her unsecured debt was discharged. No, it would not have been discharged. They just take pennies on the dollar. And
Cord, Collins, Secret, Matt, you guys want to talk money on Sunday?
Yeah, sure.
Cool, guys. So we'll start the live at 9. And guys, once again, and I know Snowboard owns his own business. We have some former military guys. Everyone on the panel does pretty well for themselves. So I want you guys to kind of like talk about not any details, but just kind of let some of the younger guys know where we're at and kind of how we got there, pitfalls that we went over. You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff. So guys, we'll talk about money on Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, actually, honestly, I think a money talk like every 3 months you should really do because man,
once a quarter. Yeah,
like the young guys, dude, they really need it. They really need it. Man.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. But I'll give her credit. She sounds like she learned from it because most of these dimwits will say, "Oh, I just gave somebody some money and I don't know what happened, and I went out and got another credit card and charged it all up again."
Guys, to hype a video, you got to be on the app on your phone, on the YouTube app on your phone, and there's a little button called hype, and you get 3 free hypes a week, and it actually pushes a video. So once you like my video, there's a hype button. You can hype it, and the more hypes that it gets, the more that actually goes out to the algorithm. So because I have a really high, like most of my videos you guys watch, so I have a really good subscriber engagement rate. That's why a lot of my videos blow up. So but hyping helps even more. So you got to be on the app on your phone, on the YouTube app on your phone. So.
And so my purpose is to help other people not have to go through it too. Anyways, let me know if you have any other questions. I feel like this just
shut up. Hold on.
Hi, I'm Sam Torado, owner of Torado Law Office, bankruptcy attorney in
There's another chick that I reacted to once before, and hold on.
I filed for bankruptcy before I turned 30. I'm not proud of it, but I'm not embarrassed about it either.
And there you go, guys. No morals and no ethics. You should be ashamed of yourself. You took out debt. You borrowed money, and you can't even be trusted to. Your word is trash. Your word is trash. You can't even be trusted to to pay back a debt. That is absolutely insane, guys. Insane.
Such a taboo topic. And struggling with your finances can be so incredibly isolating. So I think we should talk about it more. I made a lot of dumb mistakes in my 20s. I was living in an expensive city. I was spending entirely too much money while not making nearly enough. And I was careless with credit cards and loans.
Just like a woman.
I dug myself into a hole that was so deep, and the only way out of it was doing something drastic. By that point,
look at that, guys. It wasn't to rent a room or get a roommate. You know what I'm saying? Get a basement apartment, sell your car, work 2 jobs like guys do. Oh, no. It's claiming bankruptcy. What an absolute joke. No morals, no ethics, no nothing. What a joke.
I was barely making the minimum payments, and my mental health was so bad. I was on antidepressants, and they were barely doing anything. I told no one how bad things were until I'd actually met with a bankruptcy attorney. I would not recommend keeping that to yourself because it is just so isolating. And I promise you that people are a lot more understanding and non-judgmental as you might think. I ended up filing Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which is essentially a court-ordered repayment plan because I was making enough money to be able to afford regular payments. I consolidated all of my credit cards, a couple of personal loans, what was left of my student loans, and what was left of my car payment into one plan. This let me pay off 100% of what I owed without accruing any additional interest. Then of course there were attorney fees, court fees, the trustee fee, the person who actually divvies up the payments that I was making to all of the creditors. And then it was determined what kind of a monthly payment I could afford over the next 5 years. My credit score took a dump, but I have been able to rebuild it to a fairly good score at this point using a secured credit card and things like rent payment reporting. 5 years later, I am officially done with payments and I am 100% debt-free for the first time in my adult life. While I would not recommend ever filing for bankruptcy, if you can avoid it, it kind of saved me. I'm just
King Raymond says, and yet you're still here telling on yourself on the internet. Because look at all these knuckleheads in the comments. This has to feel so freaking awesome. Well done, please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Many months later, and I'm in the same scenario. I'm turning 30 in October. I have a good salary. I just want a fresh start. I'm filing Chapter 13 today. All these are all chicks. Listen, guys, let's go back to the other one. Watch. Where's that goofy looking broad? Look at this. I had to file at 23. I grew up poor, and as soon as I was able to get credit cards, I went crazy and bought everything. Look at all these chicks. I did at 27. Best decision. I'm thinking about doing this. I'm 25 and I'm $50,000 in debt at 25. Look at all these chicks. 26 years old. Person filed was 23. All these chicks. Guys, the only reason why they're like this is ultimately, put a one if you agree, guys. Because they expect us men to swoop in and pay their bills.
Here I come to save the day.
Guys, don't pay their bills. Do not pay their bills, guys. You don't bust your butt commuting to work and working with some job you hate just to give it to some friggin' broad, dude. Guys, there's a Chevelle is sitting in a junkyard that needs your tender love and care. You know? There's a fixer-upper house, guys, that you can buy pretty cheap and, go to Home Depot and make some trips. You can, change the flooring and the cabinets. Spend money on that. But don't be spending money on these knuckleheaded 304s. Guys, how many times have we seen Am I the Assholes? Guys, let me know on the panel. And you guys ever go to Reddit and it's our relationship or am I the asshole? And the guy is like, yeah, am I the asshole for wanting to break up with my girlfriend or my fiance because I found out that she has $300,000 in debt and I don't, and I have investments and everything. How many times have you heard that, guys? You have a guy, yeah, I make
or just
100
or just listen to King Simp himself, Mr. Disingenuous, David Ramsey.
Yeah.
This one thing in which this dude, I wish I could just shake this crap out of this person, but literally multi-millionaire. So he's 35-ish, almost $12 million, and he's getting with, and only has, I think he has one kid, maybe two, and he's getting with a divorced single mom of 3 kids. And she had her net worth $50,000, and they're having issues about a prenup. And this knucklehead bought a house to accommodate their huge family, and and she's on the mortgage. I mean she's on the title and stuff. I'm just thinking, there's a sucker. Well, something a sucker does what a sucker does. Which
but
is
hey, guys, Colin, Korg, Matt, you guys remember, guys, in the chat? You guys remember the guy who won Simp of the Year last year? You guys remember the Twin Peaks chick and the guy? You remember him? Yeah, guys, he was Matt. Do you remember that story? The guy?
Sorry, what story?
The guy who was the IT executive who married the the single mom who worked at Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
The story. Remember? And he won Simp of the Year on my channel.
And real quick, and Dave Ramsey was talking crap about the dude, about not being man enough to just crap. And I'm just thinking, this idiot. But go ahead.
Yeah.
But I actually watched that court case.
Yeah. And then he had her on the deed to the house.
Yeah.
It's just like, what do you do? And then they got married because she got pregnant, and then it turned out that the baby wasn't his, and he paid for her to get a lawyer to get child support from the real dad.
Yep.
That guy has to be the biggest simp that I've ever seen in my entire life, dude. What a joke!
I mean, it's like,
there's bigger simps.
I was just gonna say it's like there's nothing that she can do wrong. Like there's like literally nothing in that relationship where like her behavior could be so out of bounds as to cause him to end it. Do you know what I mean?
And guys, you can be rich and successful and be a simp. I mean, look at Jeff Bezos. Look at Will Smith. Come on, man.
So here's the problem. Here's the problem that I keep seeing time and time again, and it's these men that are pedalizing these women and thinking that, I'm so lucky to be with you. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever had, or anything like that. That they feel as though that woman's the prize and that they're lucky to be with her, as opposed to the other way around.
Well, see, and you travel a lot like I do, so you're a subject matter expert, right? Colin, have you traveled outside the United States? Well, Matt is too. Matt's a passport, bro, right? Colin, have you traveled outside the U.S. a lot?
I haven't traveled, but I was born outside.
Okay. Matt, you were in what, Thailand?
Well, and I fought a war in the Middle East.
Okay. So, guys,
add that to my resume.
So we've seen women in other parts of the world.
Yes.
Guys, you go to Colombia, you go to Thailand, there is beautiful women everywhere. There's a reason why a lot of South American dudes, like Brazilian dudes, Hispanic, there's a reason why they have this attitude with because they don't see beauty doesn't faze them because it's not rare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here, Western women are overweight. They leave the house looking like trash. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of guys are, oh, she's so hot. Yeah. But a Brazilian guy, there's dimes selling mangoes at the mango cart. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like they don't care. Like a hot chick, they're a dime a dozen. So beauty is just a thing. It's like something that just happens. So a lot of guys in those places don't simp. They don't.
I think that they realize what's actually more what's more valuable and more appealing in the end is the attitude that the woman has.
Facts.
Not her outward beauty. It's got to be her attitude and the way also that she appreciates and shows gratitude towards you.
True. Analytical pragmatism. What's up, dude? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. The topic for Thursday's live stream will be, guys, did you see the story that I posted in the in the Discord about the Ponytail Patrol corrections officers in Seattle filming OF content in the jail with prisoners?
Oh my God.
Well, either do
it was horrific.
Could you imagine the legal the legal nightmare that like the Seattle corrections department is going to have to untangle from something that like where somebody made money by exploiting prisoners behind bars in a state institution? Do you know how freaking complicated that is?
It's SA because they are wards of the state. Yeah. So
like,
guys,
like at that point, like the state itself is actually open to prostitution charges because the state officers are acting as agents of the state in an official capacity.
Yeah. Guys, we can do Ponytail Patrol and courtroom madness, because I have some really good courtroom cases of moms getting hit with child support.
Let's do that.
And losing their minds. So we can do both, guys. Guys, we'll do the ponytail patrol, acting stupid, and then we haven't done a courtroom madness in a while. So that'll be Thursday, guys. Yeah, guys. So let's get back to no morals. Now, guys, the body count argument has to be one of the number one things that shows that these women have no morals. None. Because chastity is the most basic way that a woman can show how moral she is. You know what I mean? Because, guys, once again, women have everything to lose. All of the STDs affect them the worst. They're the ones who have to get pregnant and give birth. They can die in childbirth, right? Most of the time, they're expected to take care of the kids. So what's the upside to sleeping with a lot of men? Women don't even need, want, or enjoy sex as much as men anyways. But the only reason why they do it is because if men can do it, we can do it too. Anything you can do, I can do better. Clown world, right? Clown world. There's no reason why these chicks, you have 18, 19, 20-year-old girls with banging 100 dudes. Like, what is your 19? You banged 100 guys. What do you do?
AJ, I think that they've learned to trade it in as like a credit card, either for social currency.
Nature's credit card. Oh yeah. That's the oldest way to pay, right?
Yeah, like I think that that they have monetized that behavior so much that it like it's almost inhuman. It's almost like a prostitute would view like a transactional nature of human behavior. It really is that's what it has turned into for this newest generation of women. 100% it's transactional. It's not even human anymore.
But they're not even getting anything out of it. It's like women don't even enjoy like it's so funny that they try and clown us men because they say that we'll bang anything. We'll just bang a catcher's mitt, right? You know what I'm saying? Like they call us dogs, but then they want to have as they're having more sex than us men. And it's like, so what does that make you guys then? So you can shame us men or the men who could actually bang a lot of chicks, right? But then, you know what? Here,
well, I can tell you what they're getting out of it. They're getting free drinks, free dinners, free shopping excursions, free trips to resorts and things like that. Like these are all the things that like women that they use to validate the way that they see themselves.
Yeah.
Well, it just comes down to the age-old adage: people don't value what you get for free or what's done easily.
Yeah.
And as a man, the reason why I had to learn to become successful women, I had to learn what attractions, what triggers attraction. I had to learn how to have conversation with them. I had to learn how to, build myself to be someone that's an attractive person that attracts other women. And so women, it's not the same. We just watched a video. I was watching some channels today. And there was this woman, this big white woman that had tattoos on her chest and was going out to the bar, got rejected by two men, and just
I saw that. Yeah. I dropped the video on her today.
Yeah. Yeah. And so and me personally, I look, every no I get.
Hold on, Secret. Can I summarize what the chick said in the video?
Yeah.
You know?
Jedi.
You know what, guys? You know what? We'll actually take a small break in the show to actually cover that really fast because that's absolutely insane. As you keep going, I interrupted you. Sorry.
Yeah. So, and so a woman that can, it doesn't take much effort for a woman to get piped down.
Yeah.
And so that's why we don't respect it. Whereas as a man, the reason why I have the numbers that I have or the success that I have with dating, and tried to build myself into an attractive person that can do that. It doesn't come easily, and not every man can do it.
Yeah. In the same way, guys, once again, not every man's gonna make it, meaning getting chicks, in the same way that not every woman's gonna get married and get a relationship. Not everyone can make it. Yes, I honestly believe that women want relationships more than anything else. They want relationships more than they want children. They want relationships more than anything. Or else you wouldn't see these single moms on these dating apps. You wouldn't see 60, 70-year-olds, 50-year-olds whining about where are all the good men. Ultimately, women want the social status, the perceived stability of being in a relationship. And also they want to rub it in their friends' faces too. Here we go.
Someone
You
shouldn't
can't handle
compassion
being alone.
They can't. They can't, guys.
main factor in that relationship, right? And understanding of who they are, of what they've been through. Shouldn't that be a main factor?
The world, but the world, the world doesn't owe you understanding. The world doesn't owe you understanding. Like that's entitlement. You're not entitled to someone's compassion and understanding. And I think men are allowed to be selective in who they date. And like I think men are allowed to have standards, and if that's their standard, so be it. And it's not every single guy, but I think in general, if you poll men, would you rather have a girl that slept with 100 or slept with 1? They would pick 1. And are they less picky than they were 100 years ago? Sure, you were a hoe if you slept with 3 people 100 years ago. Right. So
what's your body count? If body count doesn't matter, what's your body count?
You want me to
just
say be straight up?
Be straight up. You said you were honest before, right?
Yeah.
Do you want us to start? Do you want us to go first?
Well, I mean, I feel like, are you guys also going to say yours?
Yeah.
You're gonna be honest?
Yeah.
Is it because it's low?
I'm not going to say mine.
Why are you asking the question? You shouldn't ask the question if you're not going to answer it.
Why?
Girls are so full of it, dude. Body count doesn't matter. Say yours then. I
think body count matters.
Why?
Which is
then answer it.
I'll get into that, but first let's have you guys answer this question.
Yeah,
I thought you were brutally honest.
Look at it, guys. Look at
I am brutally honest, but like at the same time, like this is being like, aired live.
What's your body?
Yeah.
Why do you refuse?
All right, guys. Hold on, wait. There was one. Oh, here you go. There was something else I was going to show you guys. Okay, so the Western world does not require Western women to have moral agency and or responsibility for their actions. This is in Reddit unpopular opinion. This is not to say that Western women lack moral agency, but they are not required to use it and so often choose to not do so. Facts. Whether it's baby deletion, divorce, children's custody, workplace disputes, false essay claims, the Western world routinely gives Western women a pass for making selfish decisions over moral ones.
Yes.
Worse yet, this is all done under the pretense that men and women are supposed to be equal, but almost always only men's feet are ever held to the fire as needing it to be morally responsible. I couldn't have put that better myself.
Yes, 100%.
Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. Thanks for all the super chats, guys. Appreciate that. We're almost at 28K, guys. So make sure you are subscribed, guys. Right? We're almost there.
Can I give you an example of exactly what you were talking about there with responsibility or irresponsibility for their actions? Yeah. So I had a friend who went through a divorce, and 8 separate times in his divorce proceeding with his former wife, she made demonstrably false allegations against him.
Yeah, happens all the time.
And the female judge that was handling her case said that many times, she said, and I heard her say this, when my friend's lawyer brought this up, because her credibility, of course, came into play, and the judge herself said that, well, she was emotional in making decisions when she was emotionally compromised. How is that like any different from like saying that she's how is that any different from treating an adult like they're not responsible for their actions, like they're retarded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like totally releasing her from agency because she was emotional during the divorce. I can promise you that same judge would have come down, and she did, on my friend who was a male, for even just the hint of indiscretion. Just something that could seem as a lie in front of the court. He was castigated, publicly humiliated, and he had to pay for. But when it came to his wife, who lied on a police form, a written police form, multiple times, nothing. That was swept under the rug. And it was because she was there was this difference, according to the judge, because she was a woman going through divorce, and so she was emotional.
Yep, that's true. And once again, guys, all of these judges make money off of child support, alimony, all this other stuff. Now, it's not directly, but it actually goes into the judge's retirement fund. So they get a percentage of that money, guys. It's ridiculous. So this says,
interest.
Of course, there's some idiot. How is filing for divorce or wanting custody of your children selfish? Because they're not your kids. It's you and your husband's kids, you dummy. Look at this. Of your children selfish. This is a ridiculous argument. Western women are subjected to this as is everyone else. You have to clarify what morals you're talking about. If a woman murders someone in cold blood, they aren't given a pass. Please.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Come on. Look at that. This guy says here, how is filing for divorce or wanting custody of your kids selfish? Because divorce negatively affects your children. Look up the increased risk for children raised by single moms. The increased risk of failing school, dropping out, drug abuse, homelessness, running away from home. Facts.
Can I tell you, just interject something? So in speaking to a child psychologist, the number one thing that all of them have said is that if kids could get rid of one word in the English language, it would be divorce.
Yeah. Oh, Damon Dennis says, live watch on Hurricane Melissa slamming into Jamaica here on YouTube. Whamming without a man there right now, they're cooked. All that's needed here, is needed here in America to bring reality to women. Yeah, I always say, guys, there will be another war, another cough, and that's what it's gonna take. Or enough of men are gonna need to check out. There's gonna be a tipping point where, because women are asked men to heed the call, and men are just gonna say no. You know, guys, we're already winning. Gen Z men are not having it, guys. I'm gonna do an episode 1. First, Damon Dennis, thanks for the $20, man.
You are scaring the hoes.
Guys, be more like Damon Dennis. Thanks, man. Thanks for the $20, guys. Any and all donations are appreciated, guys. You know, I really appreciate that. Guys, did you see the one guy? Maybe I'll bring it up. He said NF is coming. Have you noticed? Smick Swintez has been everywhere as of late. He has noticed that. He's been on all these podcasts and everything now. You notice that?
Yeah, I've noticed it. And because before he was like the Antichrist. No one.
Yeah. Pearly Things was the first one to have him on her show, and that was one of the things that got her cooked. But now he's everywhere. Guys, someone type his name in the chat, but code it, please. Like, put 3s, put like a, raise eye. Type his name, but code his name, all right?
Are you talking about the leader of the Groypers?
Huh?
Are you talking about the leader of the Groypers?
Here, I'll type his name in the private chats so you guys can see who I'm talking about.
Something.
There.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, guys, young white guys, they've had it. They've had it, guys. They're done. They're finished being lectured to, being told to sit down and shut up. They're tired of being judged for their gender and their race.
Yeah.
For the last, since 2016, white guys ages 14, I would say about middle school to 30, we're probably the most marginalized group in like social media, mainstream media, the most shit talk trash group, and now they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care, guys.
AJ, I would argue us blue collar guys, we've been seeing it since the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, guys, the fact that they're having him on major platforms, guys, he's going to be unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? And guys, here's the thing. I don't agree with some of the stuff that he says, right? But he's feeling a niche because there's a need. There's no reason why AOC and Omar, they breed people like him. You know what I'm saying? He's the only person who's saying stuff that's basically countering to what these knuckleheads are trying to say. You know? It's absolutely insane. Can you blame all these kids that are, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, that grew up during the cough, that's hearing about how bad young white men are, white men this, white da. What are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. So, this guy says that women get reduced sentencing just for being a chick. When it comes to false essay claims, they are completely protected. Okay, so this guy says this is true because if a woman baby deletes, they don't want the child to impact their life. It's a selfish choice, especially if it's against the wishes of the father. Guys, my best friend found out that his girlfriend back in college deleted his baby back when she was like a senior. Didn't even know until 20 years later. It's nuts. A divorce has been made so easy that women can easily get out of it. Facts. Child custody. Facts. Workplace disputes. Facts. Right? But guys, here you go. Secret. Here you go. Here you go, guys. This is the... Women get so mad at guys that can actually get... Okay. When they see guys that are actually getting chicks that are the guys that they want, the successful guys, the older guys, guys that are 36, 40, that are, if they get rejected, they have to cap and cope. Guys, listen to what this dunderhead says about guys that are having sex with a lot of chicks. Watch.
Your thoughts on that? Hypersexuality correlating to homosexuality. Examples that I've,
if he's having ramp
consistently hypersexual, I just want to but then I just want to, can I ask you one more question? Mm-hmm. And it's within the topic of men and women, but maybe not necessarily relationship related, but maybe can be. So, there's all this talk now about hypersexuality in men and, a man that consistently cheats or has multiple sex partners while being in a committed relationship, is indicative of possible homosexuality or
How do you get there?
Man, I was waiting for you to say something. I knew you'd say something. I knew it. Man, I can hear your brain like about to break. Because when she said this, I watched this live, and the whole chat started bodying this. Dude, somebody say something. How do you even get here?
That's like so I have a tiger that goes out and eats deer every night. That's indicative of inner vegan behavior.
Evil says that makes no sense. Sorry,
it's a closeted vegan tiger.
Sorry,
actually,
this is so true. This is so true, guys. I told you guys that I was in this class in college, and there's all these feminists and all these man-hating chicks in there. And there was this guy, Shane. He was a country boy from Yale, Washington. 6'6" country boy rugby player trying to talk about when you women need to be in the kitchen. Da da da. Dude, he was smashing like 7 chicks in that class. All these woke left chicks talk all this mess, but they don't like woke dudes.
Right.
They like right-wing guys. They like guys that are ambitious, assertive, that have traditional values, right? It's a built-in thing. Absolutely insane.
Undercover homosexuality.
Hold on. Make sure I'm hearing you correctly. If he's having rampant sex outside the relationship and he's cheating,
yeah,
who's he cheating with?
We don't know, right?
So
I'm just talking. So the I guess the examples that I'm referring to are might even be cheating with women, right? But is hypersexual and actively in committed relationships when they could easily not do that. But there's like a thrill in that, right? A lot of the conversations.
You guys see, it's shaming men. Like they're trying to say that, oh, he won't commit to me, so he has to be gay. Like he's sleeping around with all these chicks, but because he doesn't give me commitment, I have to find a way to shame him. And it's like, well, hold on. First of all, men cheat with women, so why aren't you shaming the women he's cheating with? It's just ridiculous, man.
I'm hearing nowadays are about this, are about hypersexual men, that being indicative of undercover homosexuality or unresolved, or unknown sexuality within yourself. What are your thoughts on that? On hypersexuality in a man and
guys, this is Jeff St. James. He was on the channel 2 or 3 months ago. So guys, please make sure and go over and subscribe to his channel, please. He's a friend of mine, friend of the channel. He's a good guy. And his content's top notch, man. So check him out.
Their inability to just be single, if that's the type of stuff that they want to do, or even if they are single and sleeping with multiple women at a time. What are your thoughts on that? Hypersexuality correlating to homosexuality.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm not offending anybody to tell you more. My mother is a lesbian. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't offend homosexual people unintentionally, but just want to make that clear.
Isn't this the dumbest? Like how are we wasting oxygen? You know what I mean? What? This is how desperate these chicks are these days. You know what I'm saying? What a joke.
Yeah, I don't know that there's much of a, and that the first thing is, I don't think everything that's happening in society or in Black or Hispanic or minority cultures is a Tyler Perry film. No, not everybody that cheats. It's now all of a sudden a reflection of some suppressed thing relating to them wanting to sleep with men. You know who tends to want to sleep with men? Men that sleep with men, or men that are attracted to men. There's obviously men that's the case, and some of them obviously are on the down low. But is that a true reflection of all men that are cheating? Of course not, right? But when it comes to why men cheat, and believe it or not, I actually do want to do an episode on this of male and female cheating, what's typically the reasons for it, what they get out of it, and what to do about it. I think when it comes to male cheating, there is no one size fits all answer. The variety of reasons for why it could be the case. I had a recent conversation with somebody about the sheer amount of men that are in marriages, sexless marriages. I'm like, you don't think that's potentially a big reason for why a lot of guys
100%,
right? Just on one side. That don't mean they're gay now. It just means that the situation that they have, for whatever reason, it's not happening, right? They could be getting sex from their partner, but for many men who, especially a lot of men where a lot of men don't have an emotional, nearly the same level.
Yeah, guys, I dropped the link to this video in the chat. So guys, check this out. But guys, we have 11 minutes left. So guys, we'll switch gears here. But guys, anyone have anything on the topic before we switch gears?
I just have no idea. It sounds like that interviewer with the Wolverine nails, like came to that conclusion as like a cope, as just a pure coping mechanism, because there's nothing to support that.
Well, here, watch. Look at this. Look at this. Watch. So watch. This was a thing on TikTok. Watch.
I need all the sisters to hear me out on this. See me as that big brother that'll grab you by the neck and get you right. And if you're a non-black woman and you come under this post, you know what I mean, this is not for you, because this is for a lot of the sisters who grew up in the hood and had a big brother and that'll grip them up when he got now. I know a lot of y'all say that because you want to make yourself feel right about yourself. This man is cheating on you. That means he's DL. Now, I know a lot of y'all say that because you want to make.
So this is going viral where these chicks were saying, "Oh, if what?"
These are the signs of down low men, which women need to know because there are so many out there. I would say like 80% of men out here are DL. These are the top signs that
I just want to say 80% of men are secretly gay. Please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
You see this?
and could be DL on the spectrum somehow, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this. Like, there isn't. The problem is when they don't know it, or they do and they don't want other people to know it, and then they take it out on the
look. This is your thing. Hold on. Look, hold on. My guy has zero instinct to protect me, zero interest in me. Weird relationships with his male friends and is violent towards me. He hates me. He tried to delete me, all for existing. So he has to be DL. Maybe you just got with Nug Nug. You know what I'm saying? Like, think of this. They're trying to choose bad guys and then talk about all men are gay. How does that make sense?
That's my theory on how we've arrived at the at this narrative that feminists have about men. Is that, maybe it's just a very specific population of men that have especially horrible they make terrible decisions about life partners, and that is why they have this consistently negative perspective on all men.
No,
that's like how they've arrived there, is because they just
talk about on TikTok. It was a trend.
Yeah,
like basically everyone finding a way to put all their negative stories and get clout. All it was. Because this is one of the issues with dating now. Is all these women, they base their experiences on things they base their worldview on experiences that they've never had. This is like how all these black women say, we was in Jim Crow, we were slaves. My sister did this once. I'm like, you were never in Jim Crow. Our mom was. What are you talking? Right. Well, it's the stress. I'm like, you've never been. How do you have this thing against white people when white people have done nothing but help you? What are you talking about? And women, their friends, best friends, cousins, uncles, butler, daughter went through something that they heard, and now they're trying to say that they've been through it too. It's shared trauma, please.
You've been had. Or generational trauma.
Yeah,
that's post-traumatic slave syndrome, I think that they call it.
Guys, that has to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard my entire life. Oh, it's baked into our very DNA. Guys, if that's the case, why is Korea doing so well? Well, guys, up until recently, Koreans, guys, they were conquered by the Mongols, right? And then had some independence for a little while. And then in 1905, the Japanese invaded, took over Korea, made it illegal to speak Korean, learn Korean, write Korean, gave everyone Korean names. We're basically brutalizing the entire country, blew up all the ancient sites and stuff. And until World War II ended, they were basically Japan. Why don't they have generational trauma?
Yeah, how did all of the other cultures that came from slavery, how did they figure this out?
Yeah, makes no
Like
sense.
you know, again, this attitude that you see in Western academia, where this idea of, you know, post-traumatic slave syndrome came from, it has to exist in a vacuum, because once you start, like, you know, factoring in like the experiences of people like overseas, none of these things make sense.
Yeah, I got into it with a guy, and he was talking about reparations, and I was saying, look, guys, reparations only works if the party that the party that did the grievance and the aggrieved are still alive. So, like, the Japanese got reparations because the Japanese who were put in camps in World War II were alive and were given reparations by the government. Native Americans, the Bureau for Indian Affairs was established in 1824 and then established a precedent of giving those tribes money, right? If they would have given the slaves who were freed at the time reparations, it would have been fine, right? But now so much time has passed, you can't do it. So he's like, this guy on the panel was like, well, you know, you don't understand, da 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 da. And I said, fine, because he's in Portugal, the guy that was on the panel. I'm like, well, should Portugal give Brazil reparations? And he goes, well, I don't really think so. I'm like, well, but why? That was the most brutal slave trade there was the Portuguese. That's why they had to bring in so many slaves, because slaves only lived 3 to 5 years. He goes, yeah, but Portugal's small, Brazil is big. So how are we supposed to? I'm like,
how did they afford their fleet?
Exactly. When he goes, yeah, but the British and the Spanish and the French, you know, took a bunch of the gold, so Portugal didn't even benefit. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Let's just grant that. So you're trying to say that just because Portugal is too stupid to benefit from their slave trade that they don't owe reparations? And then there was a guy on the panel who was Jewish. He goes, well, thousands of years ago, supposedly my people were slaves in Egypt. He goes, yeah, but you already got reparations at the World War II. He goes, from Germany, but that doesn't erase the Egyptians' wrongdoing, right? So where are their reparations? Why don't Seagrip and I and Tim Hicks and Dante, why don't we get reparations from Benin and Ghana and all the Africans that sold my ancestors into slavery in the first place? Why? The idea of reparations only works if it's directly tied, like if the people who were wronged receive it directly at that time. Once it's done, it's done. The whole thing is just so stupid. So, oops.
Again, I think that's just another example of them starting out from a position and then trying to rationalize it after the fact.
That's true. Yep.
Entering your body versus a man sticking his dick in a hole is two different things. Number one, most women are very emotional.
Not to us.
Can you hand me your can? No, just hand it here.
Great.
Now hand it to Jen. Now Jen, hand the can back to her. And hand it to me one more time. And I'm gonna hand it to you. Now take a sip.
It tastes the same.
Wait, take a sip. Okay, we just passed a can around 4 or 5 times. I put my hands on it, pass it to Jen. Jen put her hands on it, pass it about 4 or 5 times. And then I had Azar take a sip. Did the contents and the inside taste the same? Now, what if I stick my finger in it, have Jen stick her finger in it? Do you think it'll taste the same? Would you want to drink it?
No.
That is the difference between when a man cheats and when a woman cheats.
A man.
There you go, guys. Right there.
Yeah, sorry, I disappeared. I was trying to find this clip. To me, this was the best analogy on why men sleeping around versus women sleeping around are dipping.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, guys. Oh, here you go. We'll do this, guys. And then we'll shut this bad. Guys, thanks for being here, guys. You know, I know that the live's a little bit short because, like I said, I was on the road all day long. But yeah, guys, we'll be live Thursday. We'll do Courtroom Madness. Sunday, guys, we'll talk about money, you know? And yeah, guys.
Horrific crash. A speeding Porsche jumps the curb, slamming into a young man on a first date, then hitting a light pole. The driver of the Porsche is Christina Chambers, and she's making an astonishing claim. She says her high heels got stuck on the pedals, and that's why she couldn't control the car. Christina Chambers was wearing a pair of pricey Christian Louboutin shoes like these. They're about $1,000 and have a distinctive red sole.
$1,000 for those. You remember how we talked about ethics and morals, guys?
Never underestimate their ability to waste money.
Exactly.
And a very high heel. Just imagine trying to drive in these. Social media is full of tutorials how to drive in heels. The bottom line is it's not easy and it's also not recommended. Inside Edition producer Lauren Lavelle gave it a try, and it sure is a challenge.
My heel keeps getting caught in the carpeting every time I maneuver it from the pedal to the brake.
Mark Thiessen is Christina Chambers' attorney.
Hold on,
client maintain?
Hold on. No woman has a problem taking off high heels.
Yeah, but then you're not supposed to drive barefoot either. It's legal.
Yeah,
she
but
should have had another pair of shoes.
Right. So you could either drive with your socks on or just drive with another pair of shoes on your feet. But if they were that much of an obstruction, then you just don't drive.
Yeah, facts. Yep.
That it was her shoe that actually really caused this accident?
100%. Yep. She told me when she got out of that hospital, she was telling me about the shoe, and we have gone and preserved that shoe since day one. We sent private investigators to go get not the shoe, but the pedals and get replicas to show how that was absolutely possible.
But prosecutors say her high heels were the least of Christina Chambers' problems. The wealthy Houston housewife had been partying all night with friends. Her blood alcohol count was 3 times the legal limit. And they found cocaine
I was like,
in her purse.
And Bolivian marching powder.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Is like whenever these accidents happen, my first question is always, what is the blood alcohol content?
I don't understand it, man. And guys, there's chicks like this all over the place.
Talking about whores, people. They're everywhere.
We don't believe this happened, this shoe theory. But even if it did, that just adds to the recklessness of her actions. If you're drunk,
is there any testosterone? With these guys, look at these two.
They both look a little bit sweet to me.
These two dudes, dude. Look
drunk, going 70, 80, 90 miles per hour in a sports car, and you're wearing high heels. I mean, that doesn't absolve you. That makes it even worse.
Chambers was found guilty of manslaughter and sentenced to 11 years and 14 days in prison.
Let's go.
Which happens to be her.
Guys, now she only got 11 years because vehicular manslaughter laws need to be updated. That has to be, other than female teachers banging students, this has to be the most consistent times where punishment is not enough. Rogue, a driver always lives. You guys know this. Anytime that there's a DUI, a driver always
victim
lives.
Joe McMillan's birthday, November 14th.
Damn.
His parents spoke outside court.
She gave Joe a death sentence, and now we have to live a life sentence without Joe. Joe did not have to die.
The victim's date survived the crash.
She can get it.
Without.
She looks like Linda Carter a little bit, right? Like Wonder Woman a little bit. I'd smash, shoot. How you doing? She's about 25 years past the wall, but hey,
She's like all these babes. You get their pilot lit, they can start a leaf blower.
Scratch.
Yeah, cool, guys. Well, I'm gonna shut this bad boy down, guys.
All right. Well, have a great night, AJ.
Guys, I appreciate you guys. Guys, we are almost at 28K, so hopefully we can break that. And what we'll do money and the 28K special on Sunday, guys. Yeah, guys. Once again, guys, I really didn't think that this that I thought we'd end the year at like 20K, but guys, we're almost at 30. So if we could end the year at 30K, man, that would just be like incredible, man. So
Wait,
I appreciate
AJ.
you guys, and yeah, guys.
AJ, are you stuttering or are you getting emotional? I'm having a hard time telling. It's like
A little bit of both. A little bit of both, you know. So, oh, guys, there's one thing that I gotta say that for all you 40K fans, so like different investors have been buying investing in 40K, and then Amazon's gonna do a show. But they kind of made 40K woke and said, so like the Emperor has this personal guard that were all male, just like Space Marines. And in the last codex, they said that the Custodes is they had women there. It's like why would you use women as a template to make super soldiers? It makes no sense.
One of the appeals of 40K is that it's so male driven, and so pure in that, and you know that they're just going to screw it up by trying to inject things that absolutely don't belong in that universe to begin with.
So
they're going to ruin it.
So in the Custodes Codex, they said that there was a female one. And now in the new book that came out after the Horus Heresy ended, there's a female Custodes in the book. Dude, they're gonna FO because 40K fans do not play around, and they already have cool female factions. They're the Sisters of Battle and the Sisters of Silence. Like, they don't need to make female Custodes and Space Marines. Like, I know guys that actually play the female factions because they're so cool, you know? It doesn't make any sense. But if they make female Space Marines, dude, it's over. Because you guys saw what they did to Dungeons and Dragons, right? I think someone had put the newest artwork in the Discord. Guys, Dungeons and Dragons is all LDHD TV now. Absolutely insane. But all right, guys.
But that's how these writers, that's how they continue to justify their existence, is by playing up these gay and bisexual and all of these other themes. That's how they justify their salaries.
Did you guys see transformerisms on is identification is plummeting?
Yep.
Look at this. Blair White did a video on this, and there's a report. Look.
Happens. It was this during TikTok from people talking
of students not identifying as male or female 2023, and then look, bam, 2025. Look at that.
Yep.
It's not a social contagion, please.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Look at that.
Talking about what actually correct them, but
becoming queer. More specifically, why
like everybody correct them, but here's one.
And what happened in 2020. More specifically, why was everyone becoming queer? And I think I have the answer to that. First of all, you weren't becoming queer, you were coming to know what it meant to be queer and coming to realize that that might have been you. But to grasp this phenomenon, I feel like it'll be easier to define what being queer actually is.
No
I
one
sort of
can
see queerness as break.
I don't really care. To say you're missing the point would be an understatement, because if people were just discovering that they were in fact these things, you wouldn't see the drop-off rate that we're seeing now with this new data. So,
and I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the correct terminology for people. I'm not a spokesperson for the community. It's just who I am.
Maybe
you can't even talk about it, or you'll get canned.
So let me point something out. Back in the 90s, almost every woman would come out and say, well, I'm a little bit bi, because that was a way to get attention and to get guys all riled up.
Yeah. And it worked.
So it's the same damn thing.
Especially in the 2000s. You know, because we had girls gone wild and all those videos
Exactly.
of girls kissing and everything. So that was a big deal. So, but all right, guys, I appreciate you guys. I'll catch you guys on Thursday.
Have a good
Bye,
night.
guys.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.